Hello, engineers, and welcome back to the DevSecOps series. So, from past few videos, we have learned about what is threat modeling, what are the different things or the steps, what are the different components that are involved in threat modeling, and then we learned about what is tried and dread. Okay, how they can help you in knowing what are the different kind of vulnerabilities you need to look for, and how you can rate those particular risks that are available. Okay, how you can prioritize them, how you can mark them in terms of criticality or severity of the damage that it could impose. Now, in this video, we will be learning about what are the remaining methods which are consisting of uh, TRIKE or OCTAVE, or what is different things, what are the different tools that we have to use. Okay, what is PASTA? We will see in this particular video. So before we move ahead, I would urge you to look for these particular two videos that I have linked over here, and you need to go through these particular videos like in an order so that you could get to know what we are discussing in this video, and you should not skip those things, and unless you have watched them you should watch this, because otherwise there would be a gap in your understanding in that case. So that's the reason that I'm urging you to first look into those videos and then come to this particular third part of threat modeling. So let's quickly go to the place where we left out. So we have seen stride, we have seen dread. Now we will learn about what is pasta. So pasta is not something that you have to eat here. Here it means process for attack simulation and threat analysis. Now by using the other two methods, what we have done, we have first identified what kind of vulnerabilities are possible. Okay, spoofing, tampering, or information disclosure that could be occurring in some place in your application, and then what is the damage, what is the discoverability of that particular vulnerability. Okay, or what is the impact of that particular vulnerability. If that is known, now you can use this pasta framework to process, map out a process for attacking. Okay, you can attack your known vulnerabilities, and you can see, you can do some threat analysis on that particular thing. Okay, that is what it is called as, why it is called as attack simulation and threat analysis. So what is this thing? It is a risk centric threat modeling methodology that provides a structured approach to identify, analyze, and mitigate potential security risks. Okay, now we have identified this particular vulnerability that we have. Okay, what is the risk associated with it? How many of the users could be impacted due to it? So this data is with us. Now I will simulate an attack and check if that is really happening in this particular vulnerability. Okay, is that possible even by someone else? So that is what it helps us out. Okay, so pasta focuses on simulating attacks and analyzing threats based on their relevance, okay, and real world exploitation. So now, even if there are certain vulnerabilities, but if they are not exploitable, then I can be sure, okay, yeah, okay, even if they are there, I'm out of threat. Okay, my data is not being hijacked or being tampered or anything is being done with my data. But you need to try and attack it, unless and until you do this thing, you will not know if it is really safe or not. So that is why we have to adopt this pasta framework as well in the threat modeling, so that we could know and be sure if this is a real vulnerability or not. Okay, cool. I hope you got these things. Now here we have listed some stages of process for attack simulation and threat analysis. First, we have to define objective. Okay, why are we kind of doing this attack? That is what first we need to know. We are doing this attack to exploit this kind of vulnerability. That is what we need to first drill down. Then define technical scope. Then decomposition and analysis of the application is what we have to do. Then again, the threat analysis, then vulnerabilities and weakness analysis, we will do. Okay, what are the different weakness, we will analyze them. Okay, and then analyze modeling and simulations. Okay, and then risk impact analysis. So now, once we have discovered all these things, okay, we have decomposed the application, we know what are the different components, we have the architecture of this application. Now we did the threat analysis, okay, where the threat could arise, okay, what kind of different things could be possible. Then we saw there are vulnerabilities and weaknesses in my application. Now I would try to attack it, and now once I attack it, I will get to know what are the risks associated with it and what are the impact it could cause. Okay, so this is what I have to look for. Okay, the risk and the impact analysis after doing the attack simulation. So once I know there is no risk or no impact being happening on this application, after even after I did hundreds attack, then we can be relaxed and say, okay, now my application is safe. But if it's not the case and your attack, I mean your application is being behaving in certain way that you don't want to do it, if it is vulnerable and it is disclosing information or doing anything, then you need to make your application more secure. You have to add some more controls. So that is what pasta deals about. Okay, it is a process for attack simulation and threat analysis. Okay, once you know the threat analysis, the kind of threat and risk, then you do the impact assessment and then you strengthen your measures. Then next is TRIKE. Okay, TRIKE. So TRIKE is another threat modeling framework used for security auditing and risk management. Okay, now we got to know what are the different risks, what are the different kind of vulnerabilities we have. Now we need to know what are the different threats, what are the risks. We need to identify them. Okay, identification. Then we have to add them to our knowledge base, and then we have to do some evaluation upon these things. Okay, so that is what TRIKE would help us in doing. So what does TRIKE do? It focuses on identifying and mitigating potential threats. Now, once you have added your uh, findings to the knowledge base, now you have to evaluate certain things on it and then devise certain plans to safeguard against those particular potential threats. So that's how you mitigate them. Okay, resolving or adding controls or minimizing the risk is called as also mitigating this particular risks. So, to the system, adding these mitigation steps to potential threats to system by creating a detailed model of system architecture, including actors, assets, actions, and rules. Okay, so these actions could be possible on this particular thing. Then these are the assets which are affected, and then now you can apply certain rules to safeguard against those particular things. So that is what trike will help us about, expand the knowledge base, identify and classify these risks and that you have, and then evaluate certain strategies to safeguard these particular founded vulnerabilities. So for defining a system requirement model, then risk assessment, we have to then create, read, update and delete all this different data that we have. We have to create data flow diagram. Now data flow diagram is from where data is originating, and then where is it is being stored, how it is passing through your entire application. You have to see this thing, and then you have to add some measures into encrypting them, and then storing it, and then in transit you have to encrypt it as well. So you have to safeguard it against all of these places where it is data, where the data is being flowed. And then assessing risk values. So now once you have got all the information about the risks, you have to assess or assign these risk values, if it is highly risky or if it is not highly risky. That is what you have to basically see. I hope you got the point about pasta and trike and how does it relate to stride and dread. That's why the reason that I'm asking you to watch first these videos that I have linked over here, and then come back over here. So next is octave. What is octave? The first of all, the abbreviation of it is operationally critical threat. Okay, bear in mind, operationally critical threat, assets and vulnerability evaluation. Okay, so now what is this thing? So this process octave identifies the critical components of information security and threats that could affect their confidentiality, integrity and availability. So CIA triad, we will learn about this CIA. What is this thing in our upcoming videos? Till now, I hope you have got an idea of what is confidentiality, what is integrity and availability of the data. So Octave would help us in doing this thing, and identifying these critical components, and then adding some measures. We can devise certain strategies. So this helps in understanding what information is at risk. Okay, what things are at risk. That is what we get to know, and then design a protection strategy to reduce or eliminate the risks to IT assets. So Everything about threat modeling is, identifying, assessing, prioritizing, and then, enhancing the uh, you know your security posture. So that's why I have already added this in the main thumbnail that we have over here. You can see, uh, okay, identify, assess, prioritize, and enhance. Okay, identify, assess, prioritize, and enhance using these different methods. Okay, stride, pasta, dread, trike, octave. That is what we are doing right now. So these are the different methods or the steps that you can see over here. Is let me just erase this thing. Okay, great. So identify risk evaluation criteria, then identify assets that are crucial for objective in the organization. Okay, evaluate the potential consequences of these threats. Okay, we need to know what would happen once this threat are exploited. Okay, then understand the organization's operational risk tolerance. Okay, if even someone attacked you and stole your data, can you tolerate this thing, and is there any measure that you have implied or implemented to reduce this thing, or do you have any certain measure that you have planned? Okay, that is what we need to see. Then identify threats and vulnerabilities to those assets. Okay, we already know it. And then initiate action to mitigate risks. So to mitigate risk is to lower down the impact, or adding some more controls to secure your application, or altogether destroy the possibility of your application being attacked. That is what mitigation is called about. I hope you got to know all these things about the different frameworks that we have. Okay, the stride, the pasta, the dread, you know, the strike, and then octave. Okay, not strike, it's strike. Okay, octave. So these are few things that you need to learn as a DevSecOps engineer regarding the frameworks for uh, threat modeling. Now we will look into what are the different tools that are available in the market. So for threat modeling tools, you can see OWASP Threat Dragon. This is a free version of a threat modeling tool, and I will be sharing with you the details about it, and we will learn about it in another video. And if you want to learn about this thing before we get to know this thing, I would just highly recommend you to go over here, okay, and type for OWASP Threat Dragon. Okay, and you can go to this particular web project, and you can see. Okay, OWASP Threat Dragon is a modeling tool used to create threat model diagrams as a part of secure all these different jargons. Okay, and here you have a OWASP cheat sheet for threat modeling. Okay, you can see what is this thing, what are we working on, where can we go wrong, did we do enough job? Okay, now you know where I got this thing from. Ah, okay, what are the risk and all these things. Okay, this is a cheat sheet that you have, and for the threat model, I guess you can get it from over here, threat dragon. Okay, so this is the place where you can get this thing. So log in with GitHub. Oh, sorry, it's asking for my login. I don't want to give it. Just a second. Go back. Go back again. And this one. Oops. I'll need to find this one. Oh yeah, this one. Install Thread Dragon. So this is the web page that you can see for OWASP Thread Dragon, and you can download it in two variants, which is desktop application and web application. And I specifically wanted the web application, which was here. You can see the installation instructions, and you have something Docker file you can run it into. Okay, getting started and installation guide. Sorry, web application installation. Okay, you can get this Docker image. Okay, OWASP Thread Dragon version 1.6, and then you can run it locally using this particular things. Okay, so we'll look into it later on someday. whenever we get time to do the threat modeling stuff. So that would be a hands-on practice for us for this particular tool. So then the another one is what you can see, Microsoft threat modeling tool. Okay, it is also free version and you can look into it as well. Then threat modeler is one, secure CAD professional, iris risk, SD element, tutamen. These are different famous threat modeling tools that your organization can adapt, and you can suggest your organization to try these things out, run a POC and see what are the different benefits of this using these particular tools. And then you can always visit to this particular link, OWASP.org, www community threat modeling process, to know more about these things. Okay, so let's try to go over there. Okay, OWASP.org. .org. Do I have it already? Okay. Where can we go? Is I'll need to search for it. www/community. Oh, sorry. Slash community. What's the entire stuff? Thread underscore modeling underscore process. I think it's single L in it. Yep. Single L, threat modeling. Sorry for my bad English. Okay, this is the page that you can see where you get to see the threat modeling process in very good details. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you can see these things. Okay, introduction, scope your work, determine threats, determine countermeasures and mitigation, assess your work. So it is discussing about different things you can do. Okay, then again these things, exit points, entry points, data flow diagrams as we described earlier. Okay, what is tried, determine threats, tried, threat list, threat analysis, ranking the threats, quality to a risk model. Okay, this is what you can learn to get more detail about what things are possible in the landscape of threat modeling. So one, you can look into it, and the another one, okay, you can see here data flow diagrams. You will need to have this key users, where it request is coming, response is going, what is it going, okay, database files, where are they. So these are the different things you will need to create when you are doing the threat modeling stuff, the spoofing, tampering, and all this thing, repudiation, information disclosure. So okay, I hope you got the gist of what is threat modeling and how technically it is important. Okay, uh, it was more theoretical today as we saw the concepts and what are the different methodologies or frameworks that we can adopt. But now, once you learn these things, you kind of need to start implementing these things. Okay, you can download this OWASP Threat Dragon and try it. Okay, getting started, you can see something, edit and then load. Okay, threat model file and all these things. Okay, can create something like this, data flow, trust boundaries and all these things, processes, actor 4 and all this. um okay, you can go and see these things. Cool. Okay, so now we will look into one more thing that I think right now we should discuss is about the SDLC, that the shiftless security phases, and what does it include. This is what we are seeing. So we have first only discussed about threat modeling, entirety of threat modeling we have covered in this particular few, I mean 3 videos. We have started from the basics, what is threat modeling, the definition, what is threat model, okay, what are the key components, what are the different steps that are involved. Then we have discussed about what are the different frameworks, okay, common frameworks that are used or methodologies, like Stride, Dread, Pasta. Then we saw Trike, and then lastly Octave. So these 5 frameworks you should know by heart, and then uh, you should also know what are the different tools that we get to see, and then you have to do some hands-on practice on that particular tool before we like. I will try to do it earlier, but if in case you don't want to waste your time, you can just go right into hands-on practice for this threat modeling tool, which is provided by the OWASP Threat Dragon. Great. So this was the very first technical discussion that we had in this previous previous time. It was all about the really basics of security fundamentals up to now. This is where we are. The first thing that we have discussed about threat modeling. Next is what we will be learning about SAST. Okay, what is static application security testing? So what are the different things, what does it secure, okay, what does it looks after, and what are the different tools that are helpful in determining SAST and the vulnerabilities that are there in the applications, while it is in static phase. So that's what we will be learning about in our next video. Stay tuned until then, and if you like this particular video, then I would highly encourage, or I would highly appreciate, sorry, to hit the thumbs up button on this particular video, and share it with your friends who want to learn DevSecOps, and then subscribe to the channel or the playlist, and then you can follow me on LinkedIn as well. And also one more thing, that you can get these slides on my GitHub account, and now you can see these are our videos, and you can also follow me on LinkedIn. Okay, I am there on the LinkedIn as well. Okay, by this account. So yeah, I post about all these technical things that we are discussing, the interview questions that you can see. Okay, so we have gone through a lot of these things. Okay, and you can find this feed on my channels regarding these things. Okay, whenever I upload it, I make sure that it is available on my LinkedIn feed as well, so that you could get notified. So okay, you can see these things also. Great, then that's it for today, and we will meet in the next video, in which we will be discussing about either hands-on practice with OWASP Dragon, or we will learn about SAST. So that's it for our today's video. Uh, Thanks for tuning in till this time, and take care. Keep learning. Bye bye.